You could have had something nice, but you fucked it for yourself.
And there we have the opening of the Deleted Scenes podcast. Well done, mate.
That should be our mantra.
I know, yeah. We should have that at the start of every...
Just have it on the website, Moviescramble. You could have had it nice, but you fucked it for yourself.
Good morning, Vietnam! I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You're going to need a bigger one.
I feel heat. Grenade. Crispy.
Rose, when we're going, we don't need roads.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
I'm Spartacus!
I'm Batman.
Obviously, neither of you have been to the cinema since the last time I spoke to you. Have you been watching much filmage on TV, or is it more like streaming box sets, or have you been reading books? What have you been catching up with, Simmy?
I think I've said this before, actually. I'm not a massive film fan in the house. I love the cinema. I know it's making a downfall when it comes to recommendations because I'll put everything on my list and then forget to get around to it. I find it difficult to sit down and watch a film. I can binge a box set, but not so much a film. It's weird kind of logic I have. Yeah. It's a shame because some good stuff on Amazon Prime I really want to see. But I have just finished season 14 of Supernatural, which has been shown on E4 pretty much the whole time this pandemic's been going on. It's quite funny. But have you watched Supernatural?
Seen a couple of seasons of it and then fell away from it. Yeah.
I mean, it's on season 14, so if you're ever going to give it a chance, it's a bit of an investment. You're talking about 20 episodes per season.
Yeah.
It was good though. I mean, this is a show around about season 10, started to fall off a cliff, and it was like, okay, it really is kind of treading water here, but it did pick back up, and it has got really good again, so I'm glad I stuck with it. I enjoyed that. And season 15 is on America, and I think it's been renewed again, so I have no idea when this show's finishing, if it ever will. But these two actors have been in this role for the last 15 years.
Oh.
I feel like this is something that's totally... I don't even know who's in it. I feel like it's passed me by, and it's obviously popular because it's on season 14.
You won't know anybody from it because all they've been allowed to do is this show.
Fair enough.
No. Jeff Dean Morgan was in the first season for a bit.
All right, okay.
But basically, it's about two brothers, the Winchester brothers, and their dad, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, goes missing, and then they discover he's a demon hunter. So they go looking for him and sort of kill monsters along the way, and it's really good. I mean, it's more kind of the vein of like Buffy and Angel, but a wee bit darker. Pretty good show. It's pure pop culture and its references and stuff like that. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Very easy to watch. Very just popcorn TV.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Anything else, or have you spent all your time just committing to 20 episodes of?
No, we'll go week to week. That was my kind of wee weekly show. But I have been rewatching.
Oh, that's
Sopranos.
nice. You got your wee soaps.
Monday morning before work, when I finish, sit with my breakfast or that, wee coffee, and watch Supernatural.
Aww.
I've not been watching anything new, but I have been rewatching Sopranos again.
I didn't hear what you said, Tone. So I'm going to talk fast. The guy you're looking for is an ex-commando. He killed 16 Chechen rebels single-handed. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, nice, huh?
He was with the Interior Ministry. Guy, some kind of Russian Green Beret. This guy cannot come back to tell this story. You understand? I hear you.
There he is, Paulie.
Oh? Oh, you there? Fuck! Call me back! You're not gonna believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Because the missus hasn't seen it, so I don't know how many times this has been. I've never seen it, so we're watching it for the first time. We're on season 3 just now, and I'm like, oh my god, I have no idea what's going to happen. And she's enjoying it, which is good. So I would have been concerned if we had watched it, and she didn't like it. To be okay.
Grounds
we
for
could have an
divorce.
interesting chat.
Christopher Moltisanti was my big crush. I used to love him. I thought he was so handsome.
He's doing a podcast just now with, I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Bobby Bacala in The Sopranos. Right. And they're doing a kind of weekly watch-along type thing. And I've listened to bits of them, and it's pretty cool that the two of them come across really, really well. So
that sounds amazing.
I'll need to get back into that now that I'm actually rewatching it properly. But yeah, I'm watching that. I just finished The Chalk Man the other day by C.J. Tudor. Don't know if you've heard of it. It got a lot of hype. I think it was last year. It's about a guy who receives a chalk drawing and a stick figure, and it reminds them of a childhood game we went and played 30 years ago. But it's kind of told partly in the past, partly in the present, and it flicks back and forth. It's got a very kind of Stand By Me vibe to it at times. And for quite a short book, there's a lot going on in it. There's a lot of plot points. I just didn't feel they all kind of tied up in the end. And it's a good enough book, but at the end I was kind of like, I can't even really say anything for it being a spoiler. That's fine. So I might say it off camera if you're interested in what kind of bugged me about it. But it was okay. I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I finished The Sandman by Neil Gaiman.
Oh, no, I don't think you
mention
did.
it, no.
The graphic novel series. I started collecting it a couple of years ago because I've always just wanted to read it, and it's always passed me by. I know it's been in production a few times, but Netflix apparently making a show. So I thought, well, I want to read it.
Yeah, so I've heard, yeah.
I see it, and it's absolutely incredible. It's such the term epic fantasy is such a cliche. This is fucking epic. Kind of ties in so much kind of mythology and literature figures and things like that. Like bits, the episode we meet William Shakespeare, and amidst Midsummer Night's Dream, there's an actual world that exists, and it's things like that. It's so vast. I think there's like 11 graphic novels of it, which is the core story, and there's like spin-offs and things like that. But it's very good. I would recommend it. And I was listening to Limmy's audiobook, The Comedian. It's surprisingly down to earth and incredibly funny, and he narrates it, which is good, which makes a big difference. And it's dark. It's really, really dark. It talks about his problems with alcohol, his suicidal thoughts and things like that, but it is also very funny as well, because he's got that kind of dark humour, so he manages to say stuff in a way that makes you laugh, even though it's not supposed to be funny. But it's very honest. It's a very honest autobiography. He doesn't pull any punches with himself in it.
I must admit, I don't find his comedy that funny. Like, I don't get. It doesn't. I've never watched a program where it's really made me laugh. The only thing that I found funny is that fucking accent sketch.
Aye.
With the Edinburgh and Glasgow thing, but apart from that, I just don't find him funny. But I know he is very popular, and I know because he was at the I Write, was it last year, talking about his book, and people did say it was an incredible book, and it was, as you said, extremely honest. So I'd be interested to read it, but his comedy show is not for me.
No, and I get that, because he can be very. He's a very acquired taste, his comedy. I think the guy's an absolute genius, but I can find myself watching one of his shows for like 30 minutes and laugh once, but that one time I laugh, I am cry laughing.
Yeah.
There's never an episode I'll watch where I think there's actually one episode I remember I finished and thought to myself, that was really poor, that was weak. And the next day in work, talking to my mate saying, did you watch it last night? It wasn't very good, was it? And then we started talking about the sketches, and the two of us were in hysterics for the rest of the day. So it's a very strange kind of comedy he does, but aye. Yeah, his book is good. It's very interesting.
Are you a fan,
I'd
John?
recommend
Do you
it.
watch Lemmy?
I have, yeah. I've watched quite a lot of his stuff. He does quite the wee sort of Lemmy shows he's doing from his living room. He's done them over the last couple of years. Are particularly good. I like the techno nursery rhymes that he was doing as well. That was just fantastic. You have to see that to believe it, because see, when you see it once, you'll just be laughing all day after that. It's just brilliant.
I'm still laughing. I'll send you a clip, maybe. But see his vines. He used to do. They were the best thing ever. About 7 seconds long, and they're unbelievable. And every so often you get one, it's like they're rubbish, but every so often you get total, just sheer gold. And about 7 seconds, so they're not really taxing on your time. But,
Whatever happened to Vine?
It died.
But isn't TikTok just basically like Vine for teenagers now?
Yeah, but that's getting
She said it
banned.
sounded like 4,000 years old.
That
Is
TikTok
that what the
with
kids are
TikTok.
playing these days? Yeah.
See, regarding the TikTok thing, actually, talk about fucking it's been at 4,000. I downloaded TikTok and I had no idea how to use it. I'm looking at it going, how can this be so difficult? You're just watching videos, but the interface for the thing, it's like I have no idea how this app works. So I just looked at it.
Yep. I didn't even download it because I thought, nah, I'm not going to dance. I'm not dancing. No, thank you.
You say that, but you also say you're in a
I mean, you
podcast
weren't
either,
gonna
so.
treat
Yeah, right enough. Yeah. Yeah. I really shouldn't say anything for definite, should I?
John will be dabbing.
Oh, God, yeah.
John got dabbing's so 2016.
It's just right for me catching up with it then, isn't it?
Sorry, John, your intellectual choices Or your trashy
Well,
choices from the past
My
couple of weeks?
trashy choices. I watched the first two Nolan Batmans. Plan to watch the next one some point over the next week before Tenet comes out. I also watched the Deep Blue Sea trilogy. Now, do you remember Deep Blue Sea from 1999, the Sharks with Enhanced Brains film?
Yeah.
With Samuel L. Jackson and various people.
Thomas Jane was in it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he was the action hero guy in it. Well, there's now been 3 films in the franchise. One 2018, which was terrible, and one from this year, which is actually a pretty good movie. It's a pretty good Sharks with Brains movie, but it does something slightly different to the first two. The second one is exactly the same as the first one. They make all the same mistakes, but this one is slightly different in that it's not set on a research facility or anything. Acting can be a wee bit ropey, but the effects and the actual action in it's pretty good. I was quite impressed by it, which was not too bad. I also watched Game Night, the comedy about, which is just fantastic. It's a really, really funny film. I watched that last week. I hadn't seen it for ages, and it was just really good. Also watched The Old Guard, which has been in my queue for a wee while.
I have the new one.
And?
I think she has potential. See, you're already healing faster. You're gonna do great.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good film. There's a certain element of world building in it, but it doesn't really take up too much time in the film. There's a self-contained story in there, so I think it's good, and I certainly hope there'll be other films in the series as well, because there's plenty of story to tell there. Have either of you seen that one yet?
No, it's on the list. I thought I was going to watch it. If we're going to review it, I would watch it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't get round to it.
I think it'd make a pretty decent review. There's a reasonable amount of talking points in it, so I think we could possibly do something like that. But since cinemas in Scotland are going to start open, maybe not. We'll have other things to look at, maybe. What else? Watched Ocean's 8 again, which crime caper, stealing jewels, lots of women, dresses. Yep, can't go wrong. And I watched Hamilton.
Is that like a checklist for movies that you watch? Just like jewels, dresses, women.
Yep. And that's where it stops. You can admire all of those, it just stops there. You don't need anything else.
Hamilton?
I loved Hamilton. I thought it was fantastic. Loved it from start to finish. I kind of thought it was probably a bit overhyped, just because everybody that you talk to says it's brilliant. You'll love it. It's really good. You know, it's almost like a reaction to it. So, I won't like it then, but it's everything everybody said about it. It's just fantastic. I mean, it didn't feel like 3 hours worth of entertainment. It passed so quickly, and it's so clever as well, the way that they stage everything, and all the songs. There's something like 47 songs in it or something like that. It's just amazing. Just perfect piece of work. Telly-wise, I watched Spaced, which is excellent.
Oh,
it's
God, I'm so happy.
Really good. Yeah, it's brilliant. Really loved it. I watched the first season of it. I'm saving the second season because I'm going to savour it, because I watched the first season in about a day. Just watched them one after the other and just sat there pissing myself laughing all the way through it. It was brilliant. Loved all the references and everything, and there was lots of wee sort of cameos from sort of actors who were sort of up and coming at the time. There's more established now, and it was just brilliant. Yeah, really, really funny. Really good.
Such a cracking show.
Yeah.
Season 2 is great as well.
Well, that'll be for next week or the week after. Also been watching Hunters, the Amazon Prime. I'm working my way through that as well. Yeah, again, it's mental. It's really, really out there, and it's really good. Really enjoyed it. I really like Al Pacino as a wise old Jewish man, and I know he got a lot of pelters for that, because he's not supposed to act in a different accent. He's supposed to stick to being Italian. But it was really good. And this week it's mostly been about Grey's Anatomy. I've been watching Grey's Anatomy since it started. It's on season 16 now, and I binged season 16 in 5 days, which is not bad going since it's 21 episodes in the season. I love medical dramas. I always have, and that's been my go-to one for 16 years now. And I hadn't watched it, and I had it all recorded, and thought, just need to get totally tore into it. And it's a soap opera with very sort of high production values. It's all the usual stuff. People are sleeping with other people, and obviously you've got the added element of maybe like a plane crash or a car falling on somebody or whatever, something like that. But really enjoyed it. Really, really good. It's one of these shows that you think is going to dip, but it comes back and comes back and comes back, and it does all the same sort of stories. But love it to bits. It's great. Okay, on the book front, I've been reading the 007 Diaries, which is Roger Moore's diaries from Live and Let Die, the first Bond film that he starred in.
Oh.
He was asked by the production company Eon to do a diary at the time. I don't know if they were going to serialise it or bring it out as a book, but it came out as a book to tie in with the film getting released, and it was reprinted a couple of years ago. And it's fascinating because for a book that's supposed to up the production and make it look as if everything's brilliant, he has a right moan about a lot of things in a good sort of natured way. You know, the fact that the production was beset with problems because they were filming in New Orleans and the surrounding areas, and the weather there isn't exactly temperate, shall we say. There's always extremes, and obviously there's all sorts of problems with productions and things, and he's quite frank about what's going on, but he's also got a really, really keen sense of humour as well for something. I mean, he makes a point of pointing out that the production had been going for nearly 2 weeks before he actually said a line of dialogue, and he was really, I didn't feel like James Bond for the first 2 weeks because all he was doing was stunts and things like that. So, but it's a really good read. It's just, as I say, it's in a diary form, so it's just like on a day-by-day basis. It's excellent read, and that's pretty much it. There's been other stuff, obviously, but that's probably been the highlights for me over the last couple of weeks.
Sounds good. That 007 diary sounds really interesting.
It does,
I will give it to you after I finished it.
Oh, thank you. That's socially distanced. You'll leave the book in the middle of the road and I'll cross over to get it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll disinfect it and set it on fire, and then you can come out and collect it.
We'll do the podcast in a few weeks. Would you just like maybe turn round? You turn round, it'll be on your window.
That would be good.
Just leaving it like the milk tray man.
Not John appearing at like the second floor of my house, because quite how he could manage that would be a feat.
Oh yeah,
to read it would be good.
It'd be more than 1 foot.
Dad jokes. I'm trying to think. I watched that. Is it Selling Fear? Is that what it's called? The one that you recommended, Sammy, the documentary about the mafia on Netflix.
Yes, City of Fear was it called?
City of Fear, that's it. Yeah.
People once called New York Fun City. Now the police are calling it Fear City.
In the 70s, City of New York was owned by the mob.
We were untouchable. I didn't feel New York was mine for the taking. I thought we already took it.
They had judges they put on the bench. They controlled restaurants, the docks, the ships, hospitals, and go on.
It was total anarchy. You knew if you didn't pay on time, they'd bend your leg and stuff it in your pocket.
That was really good. That was only like 3 episodes or something, so you could just fly through that. It was quite interesting. I also watched the Natalie Wood documentary, which that kind of made me think about things in a different way, because obviously the rumours have been swirling about how she died for years, and it kind of did sort of clear things up and make it seem quite not straightforward what happened. But Robert Wagner certainly seems to think that it was a result of her being drunk and having an accident because she overheard him and Christopher Walken having a fight. So it was interesting. It was sort of told from the perspective of her children, who clearly absolutely adore Robert Wagner. So it makes me think that he must be innocent of all charges if they're still in his life and, consider him a father. I watched The Looming Tower on Amazon Prime, starring Jeff Daniels.
Yes.
Have you seen
that? What do you think? No, well, I've read the book and
right.
I started watching the show and I was enjoying it, but it was one of those things I fell away from it one day and just never got back to it.
Now, I binged it over a few nights. It really just fucked me off more than anything else, because basically the CIA were just in a pissing contest with the FBI, and if they just, put on their big boy pants and shared the information that they had, literally they're suggesting that the Twin Towers attacks might not have happened. So it's quite a shocking series, but I thought Jeff Daniels was great in it.
If you like the show, Looming Tower, I would recommend the book. It's written by Lawrence Wright.
It's on my Amazon list now, because I do quite fancy reading about it.
Yeah, it was Lawrence Wright that did it, who also wrote Going Clear, the Scientology.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So if you can imagine his kind of writing style and how kind of deep it delves into it, I read The Looming Tower. I think it was a Kindle deal or something I went and got a couple of years ago.
Right.
And I was just totally like, I could not put this book down. And I was the same as you. I was getting angry as I was reading it. So I will go back and finish the show at some point, actually, because I was enjoying it.
Yeah, no, it was really, as I say, it just made me angry and just sort of pissed. And Peter Sarsgaard, I mean, he's great in it. He's just playing a total dick, but he's really, really good in it. Yeah, I finished Mrs. America as well, so It was like, fuck you to Phyllis Schlafly at the end of that, because it was just total like mic drop, feminist of one, get it right fucking up you moment at the end of it. So I was quite chuffed with that. And film wise, I went to see Back to the Future at Loch Lomond Drive-In, and that was amazing. I have never seen that on a cinema screen, and I already aged myself by singing along to Huey Lewis and the News, and there was like children in the cars around who'd obviously never heard this song before, but you know, it was amazing. It's aged really well as a film, and it's just, you know, its plot's super straightforward, it's really well acted, it's funny, there's a lot of sort of nudge nudge wink wink, and it's just a brilliant film. There's like nothing you could complain about with it. It's so good. It's just total nostalgia watching it. I love it. If you guys, obviously everyone's seen it, yeah. This isn't going to be one of those moments where John reveals that it's too lowbrow for him or something.
No, seen it. I think I've seen them all at the cinema, actually.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I think so. Because they reran them years and years ago. They showed all three of them. I think it was when they still had an Odeon in the centre of Glasgow, and they showed them on the big screen there because they were doing that sort of thing occasionally. And they showed the whole trilogy, which was excellent. It was really good.
Yeah, it's a great film. Good trilogy. I love them all. I think they're all brilliant. I don't think there's a weak movie in that entire series.
No, I think it's so well acted, and they're like the special effects and stuff like that they use as well are very minimal, so you don't look at it and go, oh, that's aged really badly. It's just, you know, it's just kind of right amount. But that's all I've really watched. Reading wise, fired through If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha, which is a sort of social commentary on like plastic surgery and social class in Korea, which was really interesting, and basically it kind of confirms a lot of things that you've maybe seen in like Bong Joon-ho movies about like it being really hard to sort of penetrate other classes. It's like you're kind of assigned to a class and that's it. I've also read The Recovery of Rose Gold by Stephanie Robo, which is a kind of revenge story about a mother and daughter where the mother was basically poisoning the daughter and making her think she was sick for years, and the sort of daughter goes out for revenge. It's total cheesy but an easy read. And I've also read The Kitchen House by Kathleen Grissom, which is about a plantation in the Deep South and an Irish girl who is basically made to become a slave, and her experience in comparison to obviously the African Americans that were working in the house at the same time. But that was a really interesting read. It was really good.
You've been reading a lot of kind of depressing and deep stuff.
Honestly, like I don't think I own an upbeat book. It's almost as bad as my Blu-ray collection. Like it's totally devoid of any comedy. I don't know why I do it to myself. Obviously a very somber and serious person, that's what it is.
Yes.
So, have you booked tickets to go to see Tenet yet?
No, yes. Yeah, I'm trying to convince Jen to go. Well, I'm trying to convince her to go. I asked her yesterday, do you want to go and see this? And she's not cool about going to the cinema, but at the same time, she doesn't want me to go with her.
Yeah.
She wants to see it, so it's as I'm in a kind of stalemate mode type of. I'm trying to explain to her, I can't wait a week or two if this film comes out. Yeah. I need to see it in the opening week.
Yeah, it'll be all over the internet. Yeah.
It doesn't look as if
I think it's yesterday.
Doesn't look as if the Glasgow IMAX is open though.
No.
It looks as if it's Silverburn and Renfrew Street Cineworlds that are open, but the Parkhead isn't open, and it doesn't look as if the IMAX. They weren't listed at all, so I'm assuming that they're just going to be open. I know there's cinemas around the country that still haven't opened. Part of the Cineworld chain. It's got to do with their procedures and everything, how they can implement them in some of these cinemas. I would imagine that the IMAX one would be okay because there's a way in and a way out. You don't meet people anymore, you know, but yeah, I can imagine it could be a bit awkward.
So where will you guys go?
I want to go to town or Silverburn. It takes me about 20 minutes to drive to Silverburn. It's not a hassle at all.
Yeah, probably just the town for me. I'll go to the Renfrew Street one.
Do you think the Forge will reopen the cinema there?
I think so, because it's always really quiet apart from weekends, so they won't have to get that many punters through the door to actually get up to the levels they were at anyway. So, you know, I think it will. I think they'll try and open them all because they'll be wanting to start making money again, and because there will be a demand for it because there was always people popping in to that cinema. I know it wasn't busy.
Yeah, it's not the comfiest cinema. It's compared to Silverburn in that it's not the best, but it's so convenient.
Yes, exactly. It's so convenient. Yes. Well, I can get there from my desk at work to there in 25 minutes. I can be sitting down in front of a movie. So yeah, it's pretty good, you know. So
yeah, you could basically leave my desk half free for the half free screening.
Yeah, exactly.
And get in time for the film starting.
Yep. 28 minutes later, you're sitting there. wondering why the floor's sticky, but not really
Yeah.
bothering too much.
I'm just grateful that Cineworld have said that sure you have to wear your masks in the foyer and stuff like that, but you can take them off in the screen, because honestly, I know you had recommended that tape, but the glasses problems were becoming like ridiculous anytime I was having to wear the mask with them, so I'm quite glad that you're allowed to just lower it for, you know, consuming beverages, etc., while watching the film, because that will save me a lot of... I didn't see that film because my glasses were completely covered.
Yeah, and they've got aircon systems in the Cineworld cinemas anyway, so that kind of helps with the airflow and everything. So it'll be interesting to see what it's going to be like in terms of the seating, though, because apparently they weren't doing it every other row. They were implementing distancing in the same row, but maybe not before, in front of you and behind you, which would be...
when I went on to book, every other row was greyed out. The only sort of bit of confusion was I was trying to book 2 seats together and it kept saying I couldn't have them because there wasn't 3 seats between me and the other people who'd booked. So that was a bit confusing because it wasn't greying out the seats that were being used for social distancing, but every other row was grey when I booked.
They won't be greying those out in case there's a number of people. Initially, if you might have 4 or 5 people booking
it's a strange one how they're going to have to allow people to book first and then social distance later.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I'll try and get and see it, but I don't know if I'll get to see it the opening weekend, to be perfectly honest, but it won't be very long after that. I might wait for the Monday or the Tuesday after that too. In fact, it's opening on a Wednesday or something?
It's opening on a Wednesday, yeah. I want to see it within that week, at least, put it that way.
Yes, because I think it's one we will definitely be talking about.
Definitely.
If only to piss off Americans, so we can put a few spoilers in there, just to annoy them. See if you'd worn a mask, we wouldn't be telling you this.
I'm going on this Friday.
They're all dead.
The sixth sense has come to life.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what else is coming out as well in the cinemas over the next
Blumhouse have got about 4 films coming out soon as well, apparently, which I am buzzing about. I don't even know what they are. I'm just so happy.
Please take that out. Don't have just a clip of me saying I like violence. Actually, I need to shut up. Engage brain.
Could you work in a wee Nazi thing there so you can say I'm a Nazi, I like violence or something like that,
I was listening to our deleted scenes earlier and it was like John was saying he was looking for some sort of like Nazi eye test gift for me because I was going and I was howling laughing at that as well. Honestly, you guys absolutely crack me up.
German expressionist violence.
And now we've got the phrase Nazi eye test that we can put in as well.
I'm not even going to mention about the backlash against Nosferatu for its anti-Semitic themes, okay?
I am well aware of that because of certain elements of his facial features. I'm well aware.
You're not supposed to mention it though, maybe.
I just thought you were alluding to it, so I just thought I would clarify that I'm aware of them.
I'm trying to help the notice scenes here for you.
Thanks.
You know, I found it for the first time.
What's that?
Do you know that Netflix doo-doo noise?
Yes.
That's from House of Cards.
Oh, right, okay. Did not know that.
There's a trailer for House of Cards and Frank Underwood goes on the desk.
Right, yeah, makes sense. Obviously they're not wanting to publicise that at all.
Oh, I can see why that was swept under the rug.
Yeah. I found out a wee while, it was ages ago, I found out, see the music for, was it Windows 95? It was written by Brian Eno. It's like 6 seconds or something, and they commissioned him to write it, which I just thought that was incredible that they would get a named composer in to actually do something like that. Just think of the money he must have made from it as well for composing 6 seconds of music.
I wonder what kind of contract he's got. I wonder if he can pay a flat fee and he gets some kind of royalties every time.
Oh no, he'll be in royalties definitely. Yeah. Every time somebody boots up, yeah.
See him roll a bit like pile of gold. It's Scrooge McDuck. So I only watched this film for the first time today.
Well, it's only been out since 1922, so
I didn't see much of a rush, to be fair.
Yeah, there's actually the Criterion or BFI version of it on YouTube as well. I found it today. It's only been up for about 2 months or something, but it's a very good copy of it, so I gave it a watch again.
I seen it was on YouTube the other day, but you're talking about the DVD. I thought as well getting the same one you've watched in case.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, that's the same version because there's a version in Amazon Prime which is like a double bill with the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, and it's dreadful. It's really bad. It's not remastered or anything. It looks as if it's ancient, and it's really, really poor. It doesn't have colours on it. You know how this one has various colours? It doesn't have that, and it's really difficult to actually see what's going on. Very sort of low resolution on it. Pretty much
I actually
unwatchable.
like that version.
You think so? I thought it was pretty unwatchable. Just couldn't get into it.
I don't like the colour wash.
No? Well,
No,
we
I
can
don't
talk
like
about
it.
that during the film. Let's save that. Let's not make it podcast material for the bonus content. You know, we should save the gold for the actual show itself. Calling it a show now, can you believe that?
I thought you were reviewing Nosferatu. Yes, in the bonus content.
All right, I need to go. Unfortunately, Mary's got a joiner waiting downstairs. Yeah, aye.
A man with a big tool. Yep.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yep.
I'm glad I did not stop. I'm glad I did not stop recording there.
Oh, fuck. I thought you had.
Enjoy.
I'll see you pair of bastards later.
All right. Bye.